Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. All right. And basically what I'm going into is I'm probably going to entitle this "The Minimum Wage Increase and the Decrease of the Grinding." Something to that effect. You know, minimum wage increase and the grinding will cease. And basically what this is going into is, I didn't even watch this video. I just went straight and pulled up the article based off of the title. But it's called "Minimum Wage Hike in New York City Resulted in Hours Cut, Price Increases, and Some Closures." And like I said, I really didn't go into this video. I may play a little bit of it to see if he talks about any other places that has gotten closed. Let me see if I'm in the right one. Yeah, now, so anyway, I'm gonna just read this title here, or read this article. Cutting staff, spiking prices. The plight of New York City restaurants under a $15 minimum wage. Okay. New York City's $15 minimum wage, which began to take effect December 31st, 2018, was meant to bolster earnings and quality of life. Meant to bolster means to make better. But for a lot of residents, it's doing the opposite. Okay. Yeah, because the minimum wage went up, but the cost of things has not gone down. And so those companies, which a lot of these companies, you know, a company is set up to make a profit. Okay. Restaurants and all that are set up to make a profit, you know, and you know, I don't know each individual restaurant's situation, so I can't really speak on it completely. But what I do know is, and what I've learned, you know, being as though I was thinking briefly about selling different goods and things of that nature. In order to make a profit, you have to make a lot of sacrifices. You have to have certain things in order to make in order to sell your product, in order to make your product appealing, in order to make it a affordable price. You know, there's certain things you have to do. For example, they have this woman that sells tamales. I want to sell tamales at some point, you know, at a certain point. And I saw her video, and she sells tamales for $1 each, you know, and I was thinking of selling my tamales for $2.50, $3, 2 for $5, something of that nature was what I was wanting to do with them, or maybe even more, because they're very time consuming to make, you know. But she was able to sell them for $1, so more than likely she was getting things in bulk, you know. And when you buy in bulk, you with a business license, you get it for cheaper. You know, there's different things that have to be done in order for you to make a certain profit when you're selling items for that cheap. So throw on top of that a restaurant that has employees. They have what's called a labor cost. Their profit has to exceed their labor cost. Okay. And they have so if their labor cost is getting too high, they have to start cutting hours, and you know, they don't give overtime. They allow things to be understaffed. Now, some of these companies do it maliciously so they can keep their profit way high. You know, they'll be $1 billion company and you'll still be overstaffed, you know, and then that's just because the nature of this place is wicked. But sometimes it's actually like that because the place can't really afford to have certain employees, because an employee costs money. You know, you have to take care of that employee. Okay. So anyway, let's continue. A Democratic New York Governor Andrew Cuomo signed legislation in 2016 to increase New York State's minimum wage to $15 an hour. The lower minimum wage in New York at the time was $9.60. New York City's big employers, 11 or more employees, were the first to be forced to increase minimum wage toward the end of 2018. The rest of New York City's smaller scale businesses won't have to pay up until December of 2019, according to data on Cuomo's website. Okay. So this is the minimum. Big employers, okay, by last year, December 31st, had to increase it. Long Island and Westchester, they have until 2021. Long Island. So they have to reach a certain, they have to gradually increase it, you know. Last year they had to do 13.50. By the end of this year, they'll have to have $15 an hour for New York City small employers. Okay. And when you're a small employer, like I said, it can be it depending on the nature of your business. If it's not like a family business, then that can take a toll, on a business. If you have to have that minimum wage be such a high minimum wage and you're an up and coming business, you're kind of trying to get off the ground, you're trying to pull yourself out of debt, or build your business up, that can be very hard. And even if you're not doing those things and you just have a certain setup going where you sell cheap food and, you have a setup where you can only afford to pay a cheaper wage, you're going to cut the hours, All right. So let's just continue. Okay. Cuomo claims to have created the bill with the needs of workers and businesses alike in mind. But a lot of business owners in the boroughs beg to differ. They say the extra money comes with an unforeseen cost, higher good prices, fewer working hours, and layoffs. Now, I don't know how minimum wage can affect the cost of food prices. I mean, the prices are not, I didn't think that the prices would be, let me just Google this real quick. Why am I always typing it? I'm so used to typing in KJV. Let's look at this. What the minimum wage does to food prices and job hiring. Yeah. So maybe it just increases the cost of goods because people have to increase the cost of their goods in order to support having to pay their employees more. Okay. However, things get even more complicated. Not all foods are equally affected by increases to the minimum wage. This is okay. Let me see what it says above that. Of course, this is Oh man, get up out of here, man. Out of here. Out of here. All right. 10% increase in minimum wage would increase food prices by 4% and overall prices by no more than 4.4%. Okay, so later studies have found similar results, especially that food prices seem to be more sensitive to increases in the minimum wage. The reason for this is likely to be the fact that the hospitality industry has lots of workers on the minimum wage relative to other sectors of the economy. And these companies respond by passing the price on to the consumers. Right. So a lot of these companies, like I said, if you're dealing with a company that's already has the idea in their mind of maximum profits, and they already overinflate the price of their things. Because, you go to some places, even smaller businesses, you go to their place, right? And they'll have a can of soda, and the can of soda will be $3.50. I literally, if I'm not mistaken, I remember there was a place that had like a can of soda for like $2.50, $3. I thought it was going to be like a fountain drink, refillable. I bought the drink. He's like, oh no, it's a can of soda. So I'm like, wow. So in places like that where you go and the can of soda is already $3 and the minimum wage is $7. If the minimum wage goes to $15, that can of soda is essentially going to go up to $6.50, $7. They're going to start charging you ridiculous prices to keep that ridiculous overhead that they already have. You know what I'm saying? Off of overcharging these things. They're already getting you for every dime and then some that they can get. So when the minimum wage goes up, they're going to say, you know what? Well, we're going to have to charge you more to keep our profits the same as they used to be. So that makes sense why, why the higher good prices. And then it says fewer working hours and layoffs. So people will get fired. People's hours will get cut to keep money down as well. They'll hire more different people and spread it out amongst the different people, to keep the money, or they'll just understaff, they'll be understaffed more than normal to be able to afford it. Okay, many people working in the restaurant industry wanted to work overtime hours, but due to the increase, many restaurants have cut back or totally eliminated any overtime work. There's only so much consumers are willing to pay for a burger or bowl of pasta. You damn skippy, man. I'm not paying you no $5-6 for a can of damn soda. You can kill that noise. All right. Book of Ecclesiastes 12. And I'm going to start at verse 1. Because times are coming upon this place, a famine of food, a famine of water, a famine of bread, and also a famine of hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So this is what we're commanded to do. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right. So turn to the Most High while you can, because the days are coming where the evil's going to be upon us, you know, the famine, the pestilence, the race wars, the martial law, the mark of the beast, death and destruction upon you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and upon you Edomites as well here in America, Babylon the Great. Okay, it's going to be turmoil upon all people, but specifically upon you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because it's Jacob's trouble, all right? So turn to the Most High now while you have a chance, while the doors of repentance are wide open and waiting for you, man. Verse 2. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, okay, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, okay. So, you know, the keepers of the house are going to tremble. The strong men shall bow themselves. You know, the elites are going to tremble. The strong men, the mighty men, the army men are going to bow themselves. They're going to humble themselves. The grinders cease because they are few. Okay. And the grinders goes into the workers, man. And the grinders cease because they are few. And those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right. Because the future is going to be grim. The future is going to be dim for America. Them that look out of the windows into the future of America, they're not going to see any fortuitous outcome for America, for Babylon the Great. Okay. So turn to the Most High before this day comes, that you may be protected. Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, when there's little work to be done, when there's very few things you can do to get money. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So you musicians, you people that sold out to the elites, you know, to promote wickedness to your people, that make music and make all this money off of it, you're going to be brought low. The daughters of music shall be brought low. And this means all you wicked musicians, man. Okay. Yeah, man. This is talking about the day of the Lord, man. Okay. The troubles that are coming upon this place, man. You know, and this is just some of the ways that things will be affected, you know. Prices will be, you know, cut. Higher prices will be for the food, this, that, and the other. And Esau is going to come with some type of solution, and that solution is going to be the mark of the beast. The RFID microchip, the mark of the beast. If you take the mark of the beast, the Most High says what? Revelation 18. Let me see. This might be the wrong one. Okay. Oh, Salakia. Yeah. Salakia. Revelation 14, and see where I'm going to start at. In verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice. Oh, Salakia. Okay. Revelation 14 and 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, a great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, you receive the RFID microchip in any part of your body. Okay. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Meaning you're gonna be destroyed by nuclear missiles. Okay, in America, Babylon the Great, I shall leave you there and melt you. Okay, like the scriptures say. Okay, all right. So if you worship the beast in his image, that means you're depending on him. You're depending on this system to save you, to provide for you. You know, that's worshiping the beast in his image. Okay, the beast is the Roman Empire. His image is the revised Roman Empire. Okay, this whole system of America, Babylon the Great, is the image of the beast. It's the express image of the beast system, which was the Roman Empire, the two-party system. You know, the Republicans and the Democrats. You know, among other things that make this place the image of the fourth beast, which is Rome. Okay, which is Rome. All right. So if you worship the beast in his image, which is mean you depend on this system, you know, because you have to put your trust in something in order for you to believe that it will help you. So that means you're putting this system over the Most High. Okay. I trust that this place is going to provide whatever it is. Let me take your mark. Okay. Receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, meaning you're going to take their new currency, the RFID microchip, because you're depending on that to save you in the time of turmoil. That means you have chosen your God, because the Most High is supposed to be the power that saves you out of trouble. Okay. So this all ties together. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured without mixture. When you mix a drink, you make it weaker. Ain't no mixture to this cup. Okay. It's poured without mixture into the cup of his indignation, righteous anger. and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day or night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay. So don't take the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, contrary to popular belief. If you take the RFID microchip, you ain't going to have no excuse, because you have been warned. Okay. There's no repenting for taking the RFID microchip inside of your body. You will die. Thus saith the scriptures, man. Ain't no repentance for that. All right. So with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Harakak. Hey, brother, stay up. You know, depend on the Most High. You know, my servant shall eat. You know, there's coming a time of great turmoil and trouble, man. I pray the Spirit be on me and you, fellow brethren, that we make it to the end. Some of us may die. Some of us may be put up, you know, in prison and tormented. But I pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, keep the Spirit on us, that we endure to the end, that we strive for the truth unto death, so that we may receive a crown of life. The dead in Hamashiach shall rise first. So I pray the Lord keep the Spirit on us to endure, to not forsake him, so that he will not forsake us, you know. And also I pray that we, you know, because ultimately it's all about being able to see the downfall of your enemies. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the dead in Hamashiach will rise first. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatham, to the sincere elect, the sincere brethren, and Akwathium. With that, I'm going to say Shalom.